This is a very good scene because in this scene, the Caucasian man finally starts to get tired of playing Mr. Nice Guy, which goes on a lot in a lot of these relationships, a lot of these so-called interracial relationships. Uh, he has to play Mr. Nice Guy to cater to the so-called black female and all of her insecurities, not just about their relationship, but in her incessant need to try to act like she's still quote unquote pro-black, even though she's with a Caucasian man.
Yeah, I'm fine. The white boys at the plantation are getting on my last nerve, that's all.
She said them white boys at the plantation are getting on her last nerve. That's why she's upset. She's saying that as she dates a white man. And that goes on a lot. All right? That goes on a lot. Particularly with the so-called black female when she dates a so-called white man. They still want to quote unquote try to act pro-black and use a lot of that silly rhetoric.
Could we put the white boys on hold for tonight? The white folks, the brothers, the sisters, all of them?
What are you saying?
Just not tonight, babe. I had a rough day too. I need to get home and relax.
You're asking me to not talk about race?
No, I didn't say that.
You expect me to be in this relationship with you and never bring it up?
What? We talk about it all the time. I just said, not right now.
Why would you want to be in a relationship with a Caucasian man when all you want to do is talk about so-called race and don't even know what your race is? This is one of the more accurate, more realistic scenes in the film, because contrary to the image that they would like to portray, most interracial relationships end like this. All right, they don't end successfully.
When is appropriate? When we're at home behind closed doors, when we're just joking about it?
Just not all the time, all right? It just makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry that I wasn't brought up that way.
First of all, you don't have to talk about being white because no one reminds you every day that you're white.
He's starting to realize that he's with a nut job.
The only time you guys know you're white is when you're in a room full of black people. I'm in a room full of...
Look at the brothers like, good luck with that.
I'm in a world full of white people, and every day they remind me that I'm black. And if I can't talk to you about my frustrations, if I'm just supposed to keep that to myself...
You're a senior manager at one of the whitest firms in the country, all right? You graduated top of your class from Stanford and Wharton, for Christ's sakes. You own a home. You earn more money than what? 98% of the country, black or white. Certainly more than me. So, tell me about your frustrations, because I'm listening.
Thank you. This is what I stated earlier from the start of the film. A lot of these so-called black females, they try to pull the pro-black card, and they have it so hard card. And they actually have it rather easy in corporate America. A lot of red carpets are purposefully rolled out for them. All right. And even the so-called Caucasian man, he wanted to note the hypocrisy of a lot of her silly words and her ridiculous rants.
No, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear about how when I show up at an account meeting, they always have to regroup when they find out I'm the one who's responsible for their multi-million-dollar acquisition.
That just shows how insecure you are. You should embrace that. If you're the one pulling in the multi-million-dollar acquisition and they're still dumbfounded, then let them stay dumbfounded. You're only showing how insecure you are. But this is, like I said, a very realistic scene. And like I stated earlier, most of these so-called corporate America black females are very, very, very insecure and mentally fractured. A lot of mental issues.
They'd rather trust it to a file clerk, the guy who gets me my goddamn coffee, because he's white. Do you know how insulting that is?
They're jerks. Forget them, baby. They're jerks. They have nothing to do with us. They have nothing to do with us.
Brian, if I can't talk to you about the black shit that drives me crazy or the white shit that drives me crazy, if I'm just supposed to keep that to myself, Brian, and deny who I am.
Notice in this scene as she's going around, not only is she driving him away, she's actually driving all of the other people in the store away as well.
I've never asked you to deny anything. All I wanted was a night off.
That's what being black is about, Brian. You don't get a night off.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. She said, you don't get a night off from being black, as if that's a curse. Believe me, as a so-called black man, I could tell you, you should embrace being different. I don't call it being hated. I call it being different. If you understand that you are the paragon, and that you're the best at something, people should look at you with a certain level of jealousy and disdain. All right. Certain low-level thinking blacks, low self-esteem having blacks, they look at it as a curse. This is why the so-called Caucasian's getting frustrated. He's like, look at you. You have it all, but you're out here bitching and complaining. You have to embrace that.
You know what? I'm never going to be on the right side of the war going on inside your head because I'm not black. All right? I'm never...
And also because you're not crazy like her.
I'm never going to be black. So maybe this isn't what you want. Maybe it just isn't going to work.
Maybe it's not.
That's how so many of these females' relationships end, with a with self-destruction and a crazy look on her face. All right, jumping ahead in the film, we already saw her break up with the Caucasian man. Now she's tried to rebound with the quote-unquote perfect black man, played by Blair Underwood. He has everything that she claimed that she wanted. And watch what she does.
Okay, I'll drive you home.
No, I'll drive myself.
Why?
I can't do this. You're a great guy. Perfect. But this just isn't right for me.
Now listen to the words. He's a great guy, he's perfect, but that's not right for her. Now I think I spoke earlier that part of the Western female psychosis is that they do not like order. They do not like discipline and structure. They rebel against it because the feminist principle is based on chaos and the promotion of chaos. Right? She's choosing chaos over order. Right? A lot of people like to speak about a certain paradigm until they're able to get to it. They want to speak about a certain mountaintop until they get to it, and then they realize they never wanted it in the first place. Right? This film is truly about, it's not about black females having a hard time meeting good black men. It's really an expose on the fact that many of them don't really want the so-called good black man. They really want chaos, whether it comes in the form of a so-called thug or so-called degenerate black male or lesbianism or a so-called Caucasian male. In this case, for this film, it's being with a Caucasian male.
I hope you understand.
No, he doesn't understand because he's not bugged out of his mind.
Wait, was it something I said? Something I did?
No.
Yes, you were born a functional black man.
No, not at all. You've been wonderful. It's me. I'm just looking for something. I don't know what it is really, but it's not here.
Just like that.
I'm sorry.
She knows the reason why she's breaking down is because she knows that she had what she claimed she always wanted in a so-called black man. But she has fallen in love with the dog. Now I'm including this scene just for the simple fact that this is a so-called cotillion. And these so-called black male and female have had cotillions in America for over a century. And these cotillions go back to the balls and the galas that they would have during the Middle Ages. All right, I'm just going to show you part of it.
Introducing Miss Diabon Frost. Parents are Dr. and Mrs. Malcolm Frost. Escorted by Sidney Baldwin, son of the Honorable Stanley Baldwin. Introducing Miss Lene Atkins. Parents are Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Atkins. Escorted by Melvin L. Clark III. Parents are Dr. and Mrs. Melvin Clark, escorted by Gerard Bernardo, Son, Dr. Courtney Lynn Sykes. Parents, Dr. Ford. Mrs. Harrison. Son of Mr. and Mrs. David Hunter III, Esquire.
So once again, those type of functions and those dances, they go back to the Middle Ages. All right, when the so-called black male and so-called black man and so-called black woman were in rulership in Europe. All right, but let's get back to the topic. All right, so jumping forward, Sanaa Lathan's character has a breakdown at the cotillion because of her grief over no longer being with the Caucasian man. She runs to the bathroom. She's almost inconsolable. And now this is a very important scene because they do this a lot in these type of films. They'll actually have the black male, or they'll have a series of black male characters actually co-sign the black female dating or being with or marrying a white male. All right. Now her father is going to encourage her to be with the Caucasian man.
The point is, love is an adventure, Kenya. It's not a decision you make for others.
Right. The theme of the film, love is an adventure. Follow your heart. Don't follow any type of conventionality. Just follow your heart. Now, when the other now, if you tried that amongst the other so-called races, they have certain provisions set up where you cannot do that because they understand the importance of culture. But because so-called blacks do not have a culture, it's very, very easy for our people to follow the convention of, or the credo of following your quote unquote heart.
It's a decision you make from the heart. Anyway.
That's how you know a woman wrote this screenplay.
The boy's just white. He ain't a Martian. I mean, folks carry on like we're some kind of pure race that shouldn't be diluted.
You see what he said? Folks carry on like we're some type of pure race that shouldn't be diluted. See, in other words, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and be with them because we're not relevant. There's nothing that's really relevant. Just follow your heart. That's why the divorce rate is so high amongst so-called black people and why it's so high amongst interracial marriages. Because the heart changes every day.
But look at us, all of us in this country. Black, white, brown, yellow.
You see how he listed races as colors?
We're all mixed up. Mutts, all of us. Nothing pure about us.
I wish I had a father like that.
You see that? The other black female came out and said that she wished her father would co-sign her being with a white male, so-called white male. Remember, she's stuck at the cotillion having to dance with other black males. Here's going to be the second black male close to her to encourage her to be with the Caucasian man.
You going? To get Brian back.
What?
That's right, Brian. Because you know what? I happen to love him.
Don't make love. Wait, take my car. Take my whip. Take it. Take it.
He encourages her. He just says, take it, take it. Now, this was purposefully written into the film to have the two closest black males to her in her life encourage her, because that's programming for real life. They want to encourage black males to encourage black females to be with the so-called Caucasian man. Not that they need encouragement or the black man's co-signing, because as the black female will say, she does what she wants to do. But this is programming, because deep down the black female is insecure about her interracial choices. So she needs to feel like the black man is giving her his okay. All right, now she's going to go search for her, her savior. All right, she's going to search for him. He's not there, but watch what happens. Watch how she welcomes the dog.
Max, I missed you. Maxie. Hi.
Notice the dog's shadow and then his shadow. Like I said, he is the dog. I'm going to cut it off here because, you guys basically get the point. They end up getting married at the end. But you know what's funny? In these films, the black female gets married to the white man. But when you watch a film like Jungle Fever, the black man Spike Lee shows the relationship not working out. Peace.